That's very nice.
Yeah.
So it's this garden, and is
Right.
there more
There's
that
more
way too?
over there. That last year we didn't actually make that garden into a whole lot, but they have big plans for it this year. Last year was our first year. We were still kind of figuring things out, but this year we have a lot better handle
So
on
this
it.
was last year was your first year of doing weddings here?
Our very first wedding ever was May 23rd of
Gotcha.
last year. So we have 1 year under our belts. We
Yeah,
figured
so
it
you
all
guys are
out now,
figuring
right?
it out, yeah. That's all you need.
Yeah. And honestly, every single wedding went beautifully. It's just a matter, I think we have just really become a lot better at managing our internal processes
Right.
of making sure that, we're really
On your
efficient in
checklist,
staffing and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So
When you said sometimes we'll do their first dance out here, is there music that plays out there, or do you have to bring your own music to
Great
kind of make
question.
it happen?
Most of the time, the DJ or band would provide whatever setup you needed for that, but we also have a little basic PA system that we rent, and you can, if you want to do just one dance out here, plug in your iPhone with the song you want to do, and just do that, and then that way your DJ doesn't have to necessarily bring two things,
Right,
although they
right.
certainly can.
Sure.
Want to.
Okay.
Yeah. And so right over there is where the tent pavilion sits. So it's really close. It's just, there's a little wooden walkway that goes between this patio here and the tent. It's all covered with snow now, but it connects the two, and they're very close, and it's a super easy, easy transition. So, yeah. What do you think? Can you kind of envision?
Yeah.
Some people are really visual and like have a hard time picturing what it looks like without snow, but
No, I mean, I can
No,
kind
yeah.
of sort of connect some of them.
Yeah,
I mean, I can't
yeah.
picture the flower gardens.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Now, when it comes to decorating inside the barn, I know you can go crazy, or you can do as is,
Right.
and everywhere in between.
Right.
Do you guys have any stuff people have used in times past, just kind of like in storage available?
Some little stuff. We have a lot of mason jars. People leave behind mason jars all the time. We have some of those.
Yeah.
But for the most part, people don't do a whole lot.
No? Okay.
Let's head upstairs. I want to show you a couple things people have done. Have been some intricate lighting up here.
Yeah, you have some interesting ideas up here as far as if you wanted to play around with lighting. You could do all
Right,
kinds of
right.
stuff,
You're absolutely
shadows
right.
up here.
You can see there are some lights that sit up on the beams, and there's also strip lighting. You can't really see it now because you're not on, but
It's too lit right now, too.
Yeah.
If it was nighttime, you could see more.
right. But there's strips that sit on top of those beams up there, and they are like these little tiny strips of light, and they actually turn colors, so you can make it like blue or red or whatever.
Where is
Gotcha.
that? Like
On
the
top of
the beam?
yeah, it's on top of these 4 beams. 1, 2,
Oh.
3, 4. Those
Okay.
4, and all the way across.
So you can change. So you can change.
Yes, exactly. The ones that are on either side of the chandelier. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you can change the color of the light.
Yeah, and let me see if I can show you. I'm not sure it'll show up, but we can try.
Okay.
There's a lot of options.
Yeah, there you go. That's stuff you can do.
So they should be on. I just need to.
Oh, I can actually see the plastics. Up there now I can see which ones you're talking about, 'cause I can see the plastic. It's, if you stand here, you can see to the far left, there's little plastic boxes.
Yeah.
That's to run in, there's kind of one in each box.
Let's see if I can. Yeah, it looks like they're not.
Yeah, it's probably hard to just
Yeah,
put too much
it's
light.
too much light.
It's probably more accent lights than
Right.
direct light.
Right.
But at night, I bet it looks cool.
Yeah, it really does, and of course the chandeliers are there too. But some people have brought in like string lights and strung the
Yep.
lights on
I've
the
seen
on the beams.
I went to one barn wedding where they kind of hung like big ball things from the rafters and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
wrapped
yeah.
the rafters in lights, some of them, and blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah.
Yep, yep. And you can do any of that. We just ask that everything be non-damaging, no
Yeah.
nails in the wood or anything. We've even been able to like hang like additional chandeliers and stuff in here for people who want it, but it just has to be like tied around the beams. Zip ties tend to help a lot with stuff
Right.
like that. Just anything non-damaging is totally fine. Yeah. And some people, they'll bring in lots of candles.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Some people will bring in lots of candles, and we'll put candles on some of the beams. We ask that they're enclosed, so like in a jar or
Right, so
something.
you're gonna set the place on fire.
Right. Exactly.
I was considering like a photo booth.
Sure. Yeah.
Do people do that?
Yeah.
here, or,
Absolutely.
like, where
Anywhere you
would-
want. Before I forget, this is the backup location for the ceremony for rain.
Oh, okay.
Here. So we had one wedding where they put a photo booth up here because they thought they wouldn't use this space until after dinner, but then we
they
ended up
needed
having
it?
to use it
Yeah,
for
so keep this clear.
Yeah, so I would put the photo booth downstairs, which is fine anyway. People will definitely use it.
Hey, honey, can you write that down?
Oh, yeah.
Write down backup location barn with
Okay.
bad weather, just to keep that
Yeah.
in mind if you were to go here. That potentially people eat inside, all of a sudden you've got a lot of tables quick.
That's
Okay.
only if you're doing dinner here.
Right.
Most
well, if we
likely.
came in at 100 people.
Right.
Because I don't know how many people from my family will come, because most
Okay.
people I know are out of state.
Yeah. Yeah.
You said most likely
The tent we'd be doing dinner.
If you have 110 or more.
If you were to
120
like say to
more.
100, which isn't inconceivable
Yeah.
with my guest list,
Yeah.
that suddenly then you could eat in here. But then if you did that, you might have to move.
Right, which we could certainly do it. It would basically mean that we need to make your cocktail hour maybe an hour and 15 minutes instead of an hour. So
Right.
to give our staff time to
Sort
flip
that
it,
mess
we
out.
certainly can. It's just just a little more flexibility maybe needed with the timeline. But
Yeah, no, I
yeah.
totally understand that. I mean, it's one thing I know you definitely need a bell plan.
For
Just,
sure.
I'm gonna do it outside. And go, oops, guess
We
what?
always do. We always say, you know, if you have a well thought out, happy rainy day plan that you are both feeling comfortable with, then you will never have to use it.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you don't like think
Yeah.
it through, you're gonna
You kind of need a
The
downtime.
marketing.
right. So vestibule here, most likely if you do your ceremony in front of the house, your guests won't even come through here until they're leaving.
Gotcha.
But
Or could you have them,
You can do whatever you want. Huh?
Oh, I just thought this looked already set up for like favors and.
you certainly could, but they wouldn't probably come up this way. You
Oh,
certainly
right.
could have them do it,
Yeah,
but
that's true.
it's not as natural.
It would depend where you did your ceremony. If you
Right.
did it in front of the house, you
Oh,
did it somewhere different. You
Right.
could-
Oh,
so
yeah.
if you did it with the goats, this would be great.
Exactly, that's definitely true. Right
What-
through here.
what do people usually use this space for?
Well, if the ceremony is usually in front of the house, which means that most of the time this space is just kind of empty with
Okay.
maybe some favors as people are leaving.
I can tell you what you could use it for. You could use it for your photo booth if you wanted to do that.
Oh yeah, you could.
There's also a coat room right through there in case
Oh,
it's
yeah.
the weather time where people need
Okay,
bring coats.
okay.
But if you choose to do your ceremony out here, this is our second most popular ceremony location, right up there by
Oh, it
the
really is
oak
by the
tree.
goats.
Yeah, right next to the goats. So out there, normally the ceremony takes place right under the tree, with the chairs kind of out to the right, facing the tree.
Oh,
And it's a beautiful spot.
That's a nice oak tree. So
Yeah, it's bright green leaves in the summertime.
Mm-hmm.
And well, I more like emerald green actually. These trees over here are more bright.
Mhm.
But then in the fall, it turns like bright red. It's beautiful.
It'd
And-
be kind of early fall, so I bet it
Okay, probably still be
kinda-
green.
In September, it'd still be green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which wouldn't look bad with the red,
Right.
necessarily.
Right.
Yeah.
And often, if you do your ceremony here, you get either the goats or the cows in the background, which is kind of cool.
yeah.
And then of course
Maybe we could get
parking
one
is
to
out
chase Jay.
here. And this whole parking, we have 175 parking spots. So your guests would just walk straight from their cars into the ceremony spot, and then straight from the ceremony into the top of the barn.
Okay.
So yeah, if you were to do it here, honey, then you could use your front spot.
Use my what?
That front room if you want to use that for party favors and whatnot. You could still have a photo booth there anyways, I think. 'Cause they're not that big.
Okay.
Maybe.
Sorry, no, you're totally fine.
These all the rocks you found out in the field.
You know, it's like this artistic pile of rocks that someone put there when we were in construction. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so.
So this is your parking lot then for people as they show up?
This is right here is a turnaround circle here in front, and all the parking spots start over there just past
Down.
that tree. Yeah, down that way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of different options for photography here.
For
You
sure.
wouldn't really have to leave to go somewhere and do shots. You could do them here.
That's so true. Yeah.
I mean, you could, but
Yeah.
right.
I don't do a lot of weddings leave this property to do shots somewhere
No
else.
one. No one leaves. There's there's fields like lines of crops that people take photos in all the time. Take photos next to the barns and the buildings. Take pictures with the goats in the
Yeah.
farmhouse.